Adjusting the rear derailleur. There are two limiting screws on the derailleur. The high screw adjusts the position of the derailleur in the bottom or highest gear. The low screw adjusts the position on the top or lowest gear. They prevent the derailleur from going into the spokes or jamming between the cassette and the frame. We'll start with the highest adjustment. Using a 2.5mm Allen key, tighten the high limiting screw until the bottom jockey wheel is perfectly aligned with the bottom gear wheel. You can spin your crankset, shift up one gear and back down to make sure it selects each gear correctly. Now we will set the top gear. Using the shifter and pedaling, select the second gear just before the top gear. Slow the wheel and engage carefully the top or first gear, just in case the derailleur tries to go into the spokes. Now, tighten the low limiting screw until the derailleur starts to move into the second gear. You can apply some pressure to the derailleur to make sure it doesn't hit the spokes. First, line up the front derailleur with the outer chainring. Shimano applies a sticker to the derailleur that shows the correct height adjustment of the cage, leaving the correct clearance above the chainrings. Using a 5mm Allen key, loosen the clamp mount and position the derailleur using the guide. The outer plate should be parallel to the outer chainring. Remove the sticker once it is set in position. Next, we adjust the limit screws to prevent the chain from dropping off on the inside of the chainrings. Set the rear derailleur to the lowest gear on the rear cassette. Using a 2.5mm Allen key, tighten the low limit screw until the rear plate of the derailleur cage is almost touching the chain. You should be able to pedal without the chain touching the derailleur cage. Next, we shift into the large chainring. Now we adjust the high limit screw to prevent the chain from being thrown off the outside chainring. Shift the rear derailleur into the highest gear and tighten the limit screw until the outer cage almost touches the chain. Pedal forward to check that the chain is not touching. Check the shifting is set by shifting up and down with the front shifter in all positions of the rear shifter. Fine adjustments to the derailleurs can be achieved by using the front junction box. By pressing the button, the light illuminates. This allows you to fine-tune the rear derailleur by using the selector buttons on the shifter. Hold the button for a second to get out of this setting. To charge the internal Di2 battery, open the port and plug in to charge the battery. To check the charge level of the battery, hold down the shifter button to see the level indicator.